All right. We're here. Guess I could turn that music up a little. Been a while since I just chilled, streamed without the gaming. Used to like every week do a stream where I came over here to the server life. Reddit's stupid for a lot of things, but it's actually a pretty good place to find stories from the business that I'm in, the restaurant business. Used to, I would do it on Tuesdays. That would be like when you get the most updates. Tipsy Tuesday, I think they call it. Yeah. I know my thing cuts off the box a little bit over here, but it's formatted for my YouTube stuff too. I got a couple of repeat contributor, and that's me. That user flare in a community. Oh, okay. Posted a comment for 20 total days in the same community. Oh, okay. I was pretty active in this for a minute. Server, waiter, waitress, welcome home. Take off your apron, have a glass, and let's chat about work. This subject is for front of house restaurant workers to talk about the jobs. It's supposed to be an echo chamber. Anti-tipping sentiment is not permitted here and will result in an immediate permanent ban. Check out these related subreddits. Kitchen Confidential and r/bartenders. I think I'm in the... Yes, these are my other things. Thought I was in the kitchen. Oh, I am. Tales from Retail is another one too. I've obviously done that. I've bookmarked the communities for like some of the brands I've worked for as well, because that's interesting too. But Server Life kind of covers all the majors. Up Twitch. As there's you. that's great. You really want so? This is all from Office Space. 37 pieces of flair, okay, and a terrific smile. I rearranged my my computer situation, which is much nicer. It's a little change. It seems like a little change. I'll probably post a picture. But basically, my main monitor is actually a TV, 34-inch 80p. I don't care. Like even for gaming and stuff, I was fine. I don't need 0.5 millisecond response time and all that crap. It's a big screen that lets me use My second screen is actually an older Dell monitor, but I had, the way my desk was set up, that was vertical next to the, but it was like I didn't have a stand that would hold it vertical. So it was basically propped up between the PC tower and the TV. And it was stable. It sat really stable, but it was like I didn't like it very much like that. Plus, like it was kind of neat if you had chats over there or something, or like if I was multitasking and like not streaming or whatever, and I could put like Twitter up or TikTok or something up on the vertical screen while I was doing stuff on the main screen. Kind of cool for that, but when it comes to even like the streaming, it's actually far more useful when it is horizontal, because then I can have like OBS as half the screen, and I can have a couple like chat boxes in the other quarters of the screen. So I ended up moving the lamp I had on my desk that sat next to the monitor, or next to the PC tower. I managed to move that because I got a new little corner table that's on the like back side of my desk is not up against a wall. So in the front of my place, there's a corner with like 2 windows, and I put the lamp over there on that corner table, and that freed up the space on the desk so that I could actually turn the PC tower sideways instead of like facing back to front on the desk. It's turned sideways. Now it's behind the monitor. It actually works out really well. Plus the lamp being over in the corner over there, I don't know, I guess the light is like cozier because it's blocked. Like I don't see the lamp, I just see the light from it in the corner. So I'm actually just sitting here yapping and nobody's here. I want to hire Jennifer Aniston to quit my job for me. That's funny. Yeah, this entire thread, this is great. Because Table went and complained to my manager about my server book, saying it's unprofessional. Apparently she likes superheroes, which is cool. And she also says, I work in a casual, so it's not like this is fine dining or something like that. Kind of stupid. It's been years since I had a server book. I just realized that. Where I work now, currently, well, for 2.5 years. Plus, I worked here previously at a different location for like 8 months. And we use a iPad for order taking. So there's no server books. I had one that I technically had one, but I just didn't use it. I had one for the longest time though, because I would use it to store my cash and like notes and stuff. And if there was like an emergency, you know, because we've had times where our computer systems go down, we have to use pen and paper. So I always like wanted to be prepared. So I had a really nice one that I kept for the longest time, but I had used that server book for about 6 years, going back to I had previously worked at Olive Garden. It was great, and I think I'd only paid like $15 for it or something on Amazon. But yeah, at I think it was Olive Garden, we wouldn't have been able to put this stuff on it. But basically everywhere else I've worked was far more casual, and they wouldn't have cared at all. But yeah, this section right here, you have 7 pieces of flair just on your book. That's actually peak performance. Yeah, but 7 pieces is the bare minimum. Do you really want to be somebody who just does the bare minimum? This is all from Office Space. Or, well, like Brian, for example, has 37 pieces of flair, okay, and a terrific smile. So more flair. Here's my flair. I like that. I love Kung Fu. Nice. It's not like it said Princess Sparkled. It's nice. Boy, this is a true statement. Some people go out to dine, some people go out to complain. I actually had a table yesterday, and I've covered this before on my streams. I am huge on guest experience. Guest is quote unquote always right type deal. They're not, but you're supposed to make them feel like they are. I had somebody, they ordered a burger, they said they wanted it pink, because we do pink or no pink. We don't do exact temps. We're just not set up for our cooks. And when the burger went out, I kind of had a feeling. Like, I don't know, just it looked like it might have been overcooked. But, you know, even our well-done burgers oftentimes are still really good. They're juicy. So I was a little concerned about it, but he got his burger. I came back a minute later just to, you know, do a taste check. And he's sitting there with it cut open, and he's like, when did they start cooking this? Like 2 days ago? I'm like, oh boy. Like somebody, like it's not that difficult to just go, oh, by the way, this guy has like a awesome. That's interesting. Automatically get a vote and then put it. Anyways, it's really simple to say, hey man, this burger's overcooked. Can I get a new one? Because that my immediate response was, hey, let me get a new one made for you. You know, you want it cooked less. It should take shorter period of time. You know, and it's a refire that we prioritize that. So it would not have been a big deal. I always am ready to offer that we fix something, what we're supposed to do. And he just wanted to bitch at me about it. I was like, bro, chill. I'll make you or I'll get you. Yeah, he wanted to sit there and make a big fuss of it, and I'm just like, I will go order a new one. Even his wife, by the way, beautiful older Latina. She seemed kind of embarrassed that he was throwing such a fit. He finally like tossed his fork and knife on the thing and like shoved it at me on the table. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. It was him, his wife, and his wife's mother, his mother-in-law, who was a very, very nice Latina lady herself. But the wife was smoking hot, and she was like, you could tell she was not very happy with the way he was responding to me. And then the older lady was all like, my ribs are really good. This is excellent. I'm like, okay, that's great, but I'm gonna go get your son-in-law's burger fix before he like cries or something. So yeah, it was just, it's like, bro, there's things that people get really upset about. Now, here I go. I always like try to play that devil's advocate thing, especially with guests or whatever. Because I'll do that with other servers. Because I coach my fellow servers all the time. They don't know they're being coached, but I do. Because I used to do Olive Garden as actually, I don't know what you call it, a team lead of some sort or whatever. But anyways, so I coach myself in my head. I'm like, you know, we've all had that time where we had a bad day and we just wanted something to go right. We just wanted to, you know, have our burger come out the way we wanted the first time. And so I can understand the whole disappointment aspect, you know, being upset about it. But the part I don't get is where you take that, like, just use a little bit of logic for a moment. Go, the server did not cook this. The server did not cook the food for you. That's just not how it goes. But the server standing right here saying, look, we'll get you another one. We'll fix it. So definitely making it. Speaking of it, I swear I get more sleep on days that I work because I don't get up until about 20 minutes before I need to leave for work. So I wake up, get dressed, you know, I get my shower the night before, but I wake up, get dressed, get ready, head out, go to work. And of course I'm working lunch shift, which the earliest my shift starts is 11. Typically it's 11:30 or so. So on my weekends, I swear I get less sleep. I'm always, for some reason or another, having to get up earlier. And sure enough, tomorrow I'm off. I gotta be at work at 10 o'clock in the morning on my day off. A collection of forgotten credit cards. We used to have one like that at Olive Garden. We don't really have many forgotten it. Because where I work now, we don't do the standard ticket with the bill and running the card and all that. Oh goodness. Ran into some guests in the bathroom tonight. So tonight was crazy busy at my restaurant. We seat about 170 people and we were completely full and had about 95 reservations. Jesus Christ. We don't do reservations. Actually, almost basically nowhere I've ever worked actually does. I was in the bathroom and I overheard two ladies talking to each other. Quote, should I replace the toilet paper in here? No, you don't work here. The waiters should be doing that. Yeah, but I yell at my kids at home for not doing it. Well, you should be yelling at the waiter. The ladies were still washing their hands and chatting when I was done. I promptly came out of the stall, went into the stall the woman complaining was in, changed the TP rolls, threw the paper away, and washed my hands. But I could feel the secondhand embarrassment from them when I walked out. My boss told me I should have said, I can replace it, just give me 2 minutes from the stall. It's also not the waiter's job. They shouldn't be doing anything having to do with restrooms. Oh, I shouldn't say server. Service. It's interesting that I don't know if something changed, but typically the one upvote was like the one that stood for you. So it's kind of weird that there's now the upvote already there, and then you can also click on your stuff. Some people have the weirdest issues when it comes to server. I've never seen any restaurant or worked in any restaurant where it was a weird thing to go use the bathroom. It's odd. We have a kitchen bathroom, but it's disgusting and terrifying and it's something out of Resident Evil. That's hilarious. The hell? Guest had baby kangaroos and wallaby with them? Yeah, I thought that was a little odd too. A swaddled emotional support Conor McGregor. What the hell? It was also the first thing I saw as well. I just didn't know what to say. Love it when we hit that time of night, right? Got the AC. I will put a box fan up in the front window facing in, which is basically at the back of my desk, so it keeps the everything cool over here with the computers and with the computer and the monitors and everything. Yeah, it's retarded. Excuse me. So basically, she's complaining because in a lot of restaurants, management will consider it unprofessional. Case it looks extremely unprofessional to sit. And this is actually true. You see this a lot. You're starting to see it change a little bit at places like Walmart. But for some reason, sitting is considered lazy. And it's like, no, you're doing a job where you're on your feet for multiple hours at a time. Human beings need to sit down sometimes. Like, I don't get that opportunity because typically it's just like go, 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 go. And I might have 2 or 3 minutes in between the tasks I'm trying to do, between food running, checking the door, checking on my section, you know, doing the actual serving part, and then like running dishes and various other things going on. I basically have no time where I would sit. But, you know, there is the occasional moment where you need to sit down. And it is a thing here. I've noticed recently too. Just I guess an American thing, but it's an unfortunate part of American culture. When I lived in Italy, I saw restaurant staff sitting all the time while waiting, but it's a much different culture here. Yeah, it's like you're a human being. So when you have nothing else to do and you're doing a job where, you know, high energy, high movement, and all that stuff, you want to sit because you know you're gonna have to get up and do things. But if you are seen sitting, it's like, oh, shouldn't you be doing something? If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. That whole deal. Sitting equals lazy, but also wanting to stand up while doing desk work is a lack of discipline. Get that too. I love the idea of standing desks. Meanwhile, we have the highest rate of rascal scooter usage in the world because boomers need to sit all the time from not taking care of themselves. Oh, Aldi is good about this too. Aldi lets their... Yeah, they just brought that up. Absolutely. Gen X is overwhelmingly just boomer light. Absolutely. This guy's... I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he's talking about how... Where did he... But yeah, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. Server style jobs. Oh, there it is. The perception of labor versus laziness. And I thought about that, and I'm like, that's 100% what it is. It's this assumption, I feel like, on the part of the person paying for labor, that if you're sitting, you are not doing labor. Therefore, why are you being paid? Well, you're being paid because you're setting aside that much of your life to be there for them. Their tasks. That's what it is. You're not being paid to actually non-stop do labor or be on your feet, which is what it is. They're considering the being on your feet labor. There, sitting, you're not working, therefore you're not being paid for that. What you're being paid for is to be there, so that when there is something to do, you... I take minimum 12,000 steps a day at my job. It's outside in the sun. I'm going to sit the fuck down if there's a moment I can. My boss can suck it. Cold mayo. Lady asked for cold mayo with her burn. Directed her to the mayo we had in the caddy and said we don't have. Oh, goodness. So I prefer mayonnaise to be cold as well, right? But a restaurant is not necessarily going to have cold mayo. It does. Sometimes refrigeration is not required, depending on what they get. So, and there's also an amount of time it can be left out. But restaurant. Ah, yeah, here we go. I'll just get a restaurant job. Why does this seem to be the go-to career change idea for people in a life/career crisis? I've been in the industry since I was a teenager. Recently, I've had 3 people in my life come to me asking how hard it would be to get a job as a server/bartender job with 0 experience. Why? I just really hate my job and need a change. My answer is always the same. Pretty damn hard. I live and work in a major city with extremely high standards for dining and hospitality. Anywhere that will hire someone with no experience is likely desperate and probably not somewhere you'd want to work anyway. Anywhere that's worth working at would never hire someone with no experience. I always try to give this advice. I think it bothers me so much. Know a place that's hiring, I'll recommend you, but never good faith recommend a complete rookie to someone in my professional network. I can't blame them for asking, but it just feels so out of touch. Like they think this industry requires no skill or experience and anyone could walk off the street and do it with a quick buck. I swear that last comment's gonna get me like banned or something. A whole bunch of downvotes. I mean, to be fair, where is someone supposed to get a job with no experience if everywhere requires experience? I've been in this business for a decade at multiple different levels and styles of restaurant. It is definitely a fallback industry for many people, or a place where people get started. Now, will they survive in it or be successful enough to make a living? That's a different story. Definitely gonna receive downvotes for the other one. New hire telling me what to do. I hope the owner knows he is ruining her livelihood. That's great. Capital no. I want to be so sarcastic with so many of these posts. I oftentimes really just don't like my own kind when it comes to this business. I feel like so many of these issues that I will find, a lot of them, between a server and the guests, is like a them shoe. Take the cash and put the rest on the card. 100% of the time when a customer does this, they stiff me on the tip. I'm talking reliably, without fail, 10 out of 10 times. It makes my stomach drop whenever I hear it. Anyone have someone put cash towards the bill and actually leave a respectable tip ever? I just want to be like, yeah, 90% of the time. What are you talking about? Like, like this is so weird because most of the time my guests will ask me that. If they do a partial payment, like cash or a gift card, and then they go to pay the rest of the credit card, they will literally sit there and ask me, oh, but I want to tip you on the full total, like on the full bill. And I have to explain to them, yes, it's good. The suggested tip is going to be for that. Like, even if you made a partial payment, it's still going to suggest a tip based on the entire thing. Also, I just realized something. Hang on. I had that on all my other scenes except for this one. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. That's just such a non-problem. But I also I hate sitting here like. I hate like. I just feel like I communicate really well with my guests, and I don't. They don't want to screw me over most of the time. Let's see. What's up, Exo Red? Go by the total is what you do. Does this post open? Okay, they gave me a $40 tip in cash. I'm assuming it's 2 zeros. What would you guys do? Well, that you comments say. $60 tip and they wrote 4 and 3. I'm good. Oh, Red. Okay, I was trying to figure out who. I'm good. How you doing? Yeah. I think that they're right. I think this was supposed to be a 6, and they probably meant 300, not 400, because they also handed them $40 in cash. Oh, come on. Grown ass unfamiliar regular wanted to sit in a booth, and I told him we had a 15-minute wait. He thereafter requested a table, and I told him it'd be 15 minutes regardless, as we were short servers. My coworker came in early and told me she'd take him, and he stiffed her because of me. He's come in a few times since then. I've ran him food to his table, but he refuses eye contact. Your hostess was a bitch. They think they spelled it hostess, didn't they? Don't they? Your hostet. That's funny. I mean, this could very well be the case. I as a server do not like hosts or hostesses, but why would you stiff the server because of the host? I'd be like, that's like we were talking about earlier, where it's like, why would you take it out on me that your food is incorrect? I've done everything correctly for you, but I offered to replace it. My other bartender Irish goodbye in the middle of the rush. Okay, let's see what this is. I don't think I know what this is. This literally happened yesterday. Sorry in advance if this is incoherent. I'm on my 4th clopen. That's a close open or open to close of the week, and I'm kind of manic. I've been working at this restaurant for over a year now, no complaints whatsoever, but until this happened, excuse me. Yesterday I came in for the closing shift, starts at 5 p.m. for the bar, and typically we don't get busy until about 10 p.m. when we get a DJ and the kitchen closes. And oh geez, I would not want to deal with. I mean, I guess if you're a bartender and you're not having to deal with food, that's different. The bar is packed when I get there. It's a 40-person wraparound bar with a 15-table section, and more than half of the tables are taken, and people are continuing to arrive as they got there. My manager told my coworker, the opener, that she needed to stay until volume, and once it dies down, she can leave. I can't work places that act like that. Like, you need to, if I am an opener, maybe get me out of there. She complains to me because she wanted to go home and was mad about having to cancel her Uber. She lives 5 minutes away from the restaurant. She helped me out with server tickets and the bare minimum, quite literally just table touches, which I guess is better than nothing, but at 6:15, she comes to me and says, hey, my Uber's outside, I'm going to go. And I genuinely didn't know what to say. She packed her stuff and dipped immediately after. 30 minutes pass, and one of my managers walk up to me and says, where's the other bartender? And me and the bar back say that she's been gone, and my managers were pissed. She didn't tell them, shocker, and one of the managers hopped behind the bar to help me with everything up until one of the servers, who's cross-trained, was able to hop on. It was so frustrating to have to deal with that. I can handle a rush on my own, but not a 1v50 in counting. I'm happy I had the support I need yesterday from management. They definitely insinuated that she's either getting fired or getting very serious sit down, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's crazy. My management would have allowed her back the next day, and they wonder what the issues with the restaurant are. Yeah. It's like, we don't write anybody up for call outs, and it blows my mind. I have not called out from work in like 5 or 6 years. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. It's funny how that's become such a big saying recently, especially among like younger folks, because it's from Holes. Old ass movie. Oh, that movie sure when it came out. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. But yeah, we don't write anybody up anymore. I mean, nobody really has, at least where I've worked since COVID, basically. It's actually like incredibly frustrating when you're somebody who doesn't call out, always shows up for your shifts. I don't ever have to like call in late like that. And people are consistently not showing up. Sorry, I was swiping through. Swiping through TikTok. Yeah, it's been a point of contention for me for years now. Like, can we please start writing up people? Like, back in the day, I'm talking just like 2017 to 2020. If you called out, you had to have a legitimate emergency or a doctor's note. If you had neither of those things, you were probably getting written up or like talked to or whatever. And then if you did that multiple times, you were going to be fired. Get written up once or twice. You'd probably get a warning the first time, written up the second time, and then fired. Nowadays, people just because they don't feel like coming in, and they won't fire them. Like, there's too many people out there looking for work. We have too many people that constantly Sorry, I'm like commenting on stuff on TikTok. There's too many people that are like trying to get into this industry, or who are already like have experience and stuff, trying to get jobs, for us to be continuing to placate people who don't want to show up. Like, we will have half a dozen interviewees every week. I don't have any. It's so hard to relate to some of these issues. I love my regulars. I also love tourists. I like my guests. The hell? They're like filming for a movie or something. Is there a dedicated busser? Man, under my newer general manager, basically shift never used like any daytime shifts at all, and we used to get them on like Fridays and Saturdays. And then so this last Saturday, somebody quit the night before. So it was just me and the one other guy. There's supposed to be 3 servers in the dining room, 1 in the bar area, and then of course the bartender. And it doesn't sound like much, but when you lose the 3rd server, instead of say 20 tables are going to come in about in a half hour period, right? Say a total of 20 tables are going to come in. Instead of it going, you get a table, you get a table, you get a table, right? And then it repeats, goes back to the beginning of the rotation, because that's how rotation's supposed to work. It's just 2 people, so it's you. You dramatically cut down the time you have for greeting the previous tables and getting them set up, for checking on tables already sat and in the middle of their dining experience, and for bussing your tables because you don't have a busser, right? You already don't have the busser you should have for a Saturday afternoon. You lose the 3rd server. The 2 of you are going to get overrun all day long. I typically, I work a section that doesn't have like large tables. Like there's 3 tables that can technically seat 6. All the rest are like booths. The other server, he was working the section where he had a few booths and then large tables, like that could seat like large parties, which is fine. He's good at that. But when you have 2 people handling that, you basically completely lose rotation, and you don't have a busser, and you've only got 1 runner for the first couple hours, and then you only get a second one later. It's rough. It's really freaking rough. We're gonna downvote this. If you make me cringe more than hearing my server or my coworkers respond to feel like someone feel like a well, if you stop pointing out things and asking, is this good? No, we serve bad food here. Well, this is a long one. Yeah, this does sound kind of ridiculous. So this is talking about, he says, they went out to a fine dining restaurant, they ordered appetizers, and they were wondering where their salad was, right? And the server told them that he was not allowed to bring out the salad until they were done with the appetizers. But I wanted to eat them together. I don't get why this would be a problem, especially if the customer says it's okay. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. If it's the rule that you don't bring out stuff on top of other stuff, that makes sense. But if the guest specifically says, no, I want the salad with, or I don't want to give up, that still has food on it until serve them what they want. Like, you have those rules in place to protect you from, like, overcrowding them, like giving crap all at the same time. But if they're specifically requesting it, then you should just do it. Obviously, that's not on the server. That's on the restaurant for having the policy. Maybe they double tricked you. Ferrero Rocher. One of my tables gave me this chocolate, and I thought it was a wrapper. It was a condom. That's funny. And that kind of makes sense. Oh, geez. Customers who seat themselves, yeah. So the picture is the review. It says, table was nasty when I came in. Nobody said anything. Server with pink or red hair said nothing. Came and cleaned tables and said nothing. Another table walked in. She smiled at them and went to the back. We got up to leave after 10 minutes. And we got to the door and she served the people after us. But watched us walk out as she leaned her big body against the counters. SMH. Everyone was a different color than myself and it wasn't... What the heck? Okay. I came in during a shift change and was cleaning the dirty tables. I work at a local diner where customers seat themselves. This customer sat at a dirty table before I got there, so I was unaware they were a new customer. Yeah, they will always go to the dirty table. Like it's a rule or something. When I work the lounge area, the tables around the bar, there's a row of booths on one side of the bar next to the window. 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of them, right? On that side. And the third one, 103. There's 101, 102, 103, 104. 103. You will clean all the rest of the booths. That one will still be turning because you haven't got there yet. People will come in, and because it's open seating, they will go straight to that table and sit there. Oh boy, I have a note. I guarantee that's a response to it. Oh gosh. Anyways. But they will go straight to that table. It'll be dirty. There'll be dishes on it. The other 3 tables will be clean. They'll have their table tents up. They're all ready, and they will go straight to that table and sit down. You're like, well, why? And because they'll either do that on their own, or like you'll go greet them at the door and you'll be like, oh, do you want to sit over here in the lounge? It's open seating. And they'll be like, yeah, sure. Okay. All right. Go pick a table. I'll follow you. Right to that table every time. It's stupid. And then, of course, people will do that thing. They'll seat themselves, and then they'll be upset that the table wasn't clean. It was like, you sat at a dirty table. Being bullied as a host. Well, you're a hostess. Nobody cares. Huh. We don't get that. So to go back to Saturday, me and this other dude, we like rocked it. We took care of everything. We were still running food for each other, for the bar, for the lounge server, still helping out with dishes. Like, we were still doing all the stuff we need to do. And you always hear the managers go, "Oh, great job, guys," and you look and they're talking to the kitchen, and you're like, cool. There's 4 of them back there. There's the same amount of them back there that are supposed to be back there for this rush every weekend. You're missing somebody out in the dining room, and we're getting our asses handed to us, and you just don't give a fuck. And we've got this meeting tomorrow. Guarantee we don't hear nothing. There's no, hey, good job you two for this or that. There's never any of that toward the service staff, ever. There's never a meeting, especially in corporate, but there's never a meeting where anything changes for the better. There's never a, we heard you on this, we've got a lot of feedback about this, and we're going to try to do this. There's never a we realize that this process is probably getting in the way. It's always something that comes down on us about, like, back of house. They're always so much more concerned about back of house than front of house and getting things. And it's like, I get it. We make good money because we work for tips. But when we are out there, we are not only the server for our section, we're a food and drink runner for the whole restaurant. We are a host much of the time, seating ourselves or other people. We are running dishes, doing the silverware. Like, there's just so many different things that on the fly we are expected to do, and we're technically the lowest paid position in the building. I'm not talking about tips. I'm talking about the actual wage that they pay you for the labor you're doing. And you do more than anybody in the building when it comes to, like, the hats you wear. The tips is my reward directly from a table for my service. It's not the compensation from the business for the things that they're expecting me to do in the course of a shift. And it would just be nice if every so often there was a little bit of, like, recognition. There you go. Oh, heck yeah. First, you gotta get hired. This is what's funny to me. They're saying most customers don't tip London, and fixed rate, which is around 21 to 27. I wouldn't work. I know that sounds crazy, but like that's the thing is I get my hourly and then I make probably 20 plus hour in tips. What deodorant are we using? That's great. This is ridiculous. I have never once worked in a restaurant where the shifts go better with all female staff. You know what me and the other dude did when it was just us in the dining room? Like we went quiet and did our jobs, handled our our guests, and made sure everything was good. I think I'm running out of stuff that's interesting to check out here. So I said Tuesdays are usually better just because on Tuesdays, they lift the restriction on talking about like on most posts actually. Most stuff that involves tipping, I guess. I don't know. They call it Tipsy Tuesday. They put it somewhere. There we go. Tipsy Tuesday. There it is. Fortunately, the trolls have made it hard to moderate here. We are now only allowing good tip, bad tip, brag or complain, or any other non-legal question tip posts on Tuesdays, so we can actively moderate the conversation if your post has been removed. So that's why Tuesdays are like the best day to check out the subreddit, because that's when you get all like the craziest, you know, stuff about like tipping and money and stuff like that. Anyways, let's see. I think I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Just was chilling, listening to some music, and been a while since I had looked over the subreddit. So